You study Shakespeare? Are you a literature student? Oh, are you pursuing a BA or MA in English literature? Oh, just two letters, MA, BA? What are you going to do after your master's program? Are you going to get any job? Are there any job prospects? I have also studied literature when I was in class 10 and 12. It's anything and everything about Shakespeare, I know that. Even I read literature, I also love reading. I read Chetan Bhagat, I read Joy Datta, they are my favorite writers. Well, wait a minute, do you have any idea about Darendra Wakara Whitman? Who are they? But in any case, you're not going to get any job after your master's program. No matter how much you read, how much you write, it's not going to get you anything, right? Well, are you not doing anything from IIT? I am pursuing my BTech from IIT. But why on earth are you pursuing literature? Is this even a professional course? Is it really going to give you any job after this? Well, welcome back. Right, so these are some of the weird things that people they are still telling you, and let me be very clear, they will continue to tell you this all your life. So let's throw our anxieties and worries aside and focus on studying literature. So I will begin it like this. Let's not blame our entire community. Let's not blame these people who continue to tell us such things. Let's blame ourselves first. Rudyard Kipling, in his popular poem If, he went on to say, and these are very beautiful lines, maybe we need to reflect on this now. This is the time when we need to reflect and think if there is some problem within us. So he went on to say, if you can keep your head when all about you are losing theirs and blaming it on you. If you can keep your head when all about you are losing theirs and blaming it on you. If you can trust yourself when all men doubt you, but make allowance for their doubting too. Pay attention to these words. If you can trust yourself, so it's important to trust ourselves. When all men doubt you, but make allowance for their doubting too. So maybe this is the time when we need to reflect and find out our faults first of all. Number one, it's personally our own attitude that we as students of literature feel that literature is just about reading certain set of novels or books. Number two, maybe if you're studying in a university or a college, let's be very honest to ourselves, right? We know our hearts better. If our university or if our college has prescribed 20 or 25 books in a semester, how many of us really go back and read those books from page A to page Z? Or do we just rely on summaries? Wait for the exam to come, read these summaries, a certain set of notes from here and there, and end up passing the examination with 60, 70 or even 80% thinking that we are the kings of literature. And here I am not blaming all the students. I'm not saying that all students possess that attitude, but most of us do. Here I am just trying to trigger your consciousness. I just said that you know your heart better. You can judge yourselves. So firstly, we need to change our attitude. Kipling, in his poem If, he went on to say then, if you can dream and not make dreams your master, if you can think and not make thoughts your aim. If you can dream and not make dreams your master, if you can think and not make thoughts your aim. Now here, if we look at another perspective, why do we think students from IIT or from these other reputed universities, why do we think they boast about themselves so much? Why is that attitude prevalent? Number one, they do something for the community. They are contributing something to their community, to their society. Number two, how are we as students of literature contributing our society? How are we doing that? Number three, by just passing the examination with 60-70%? That is what we are doing, right? But my question is, what are we really doing for a community? How are we benefiting our society? We need to look at this bigger picture. This world runs on give and take relationship. We really need not think what other people have to say about us, but we really need to come up with certain important, useful ways through which we can benefit our community. See, this is what the humanity is about, giving. And this is what literature is about, giving. And you alone can do that. So here, let's look at a few examples to understand this idea of giving. Aristotle, popular Greek philosopher and polymath, he comes up with this idea of tragedy, and the world is changed forever. Karl Marx, an economist, a sociologist, a journalist, a revolutionary, he writes Communist Manifesto, and the world is never the same. Example number 4, George Orwell, he writes Animal Farm, and these were not just writers, right? These people were doing different side of things as well. He was a journalist as well. Keeping the backdrop of world wars, he writes Animal Farm, depicts the dangers of power to the world. Example number 5, the greatest example, Mary Wollstonecraft, Simone de Beauvoir. They changed the entire course of female history by examining the treatment of oppression of women by the society. And look at our society today. Everybody is a feminist. You and I, we are all feminists. Anthony Trollope, he wrote 47 novels. Imagine 47 novels. Wrote 3 hours every morning before going to work as a post office surveyor. John Grisham was a plumber, and he went on to sell 275 million books worldwide. 275 million books. Nicholas Sparks, writer of The Notebook and every teenager's favorite writer, he used to sell dental products over phone. Imagine. And today we know him as Nicholas Sparks. John Steinbeck, he was a construction worker. Imagine, he was a construction worker. And today we read him at universities. He went on to win Pulitzer Prize for his beautiful work, The Grapes of Wrath. So do we not need to learn from these people who went on to change our community, who went on to give so much to our society, give so much to our community? Do we not need to learn from them? Not even measure the contributions of these people from the field of literature. They were not just writers, they were singers, they were dancers, they were architects, they were journalists, they were economists, they were revolutionaries, they were everything you can possibly imagine. I'm making a different video on careers in literature. You may check out the link given below in the description box to watch the complete video. But coming back to the major idea, we all know, and I don't even need to say this, right? But we all know, just as a reminder, our parents do so much for us, right? They're trying so hard to educate us. They spend all their money on our education, but we need to here ask ourselves one question: what are we really doing? Are we giving them anything back? Are we giving our community, our society, anything in return? And most importantly, are we giving anything to ourselves? Are we feeding our souls? We need to ask ourselves that question, and only you can do that. You alone can change this entire dynamics, this entire narrative in regard to literature. But the only condition is that you go back and work hard for yourself with utmost discipline. If you can do that, then nobody on this earth can stop you getting from what you want to achieve in life. We all love literature, and that's the beginning and end of it. We alone with our love can give it the respect it deserves in our society, in our community. I will wind up this video here. Thank you for joining me. I'll see you soon in my next video. Take care.